So if whatever you're saying is going out to everybody, Chief.
I forget it.
All right.
I walk a lot now. Short answer.
Okay.
3-mile loops. And
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Wednesday evening meeting of the Budget and Finance Committee of the Lawrence City Council. At this time, we are awaiting quorum. I am joined this evening by Council President LaPlante and Chief Moriarty, amongst others, but we do not yet have quorum to begin this meeting, and therefore we will stand by and await for colleagues of this committee to join us.
So you gentlemen were aware we had a gas leak again today? Did you see that? No. Yeah, we had.
I heard that, Chief. Do you have any more details on that?
Yeah, that's why I was going to talk about it while we're waiting for quorum.
Sure.
We had a contractor on Mill Street hit a 2-inch high pressure gas line during construction work in the area. It was properly marked. We responded, of course, as well as Eversource, who had an extremely quick response for us. We had the gas shut down extremely quickly, although I didn't put a stopwatch on it, but they were quite fast. They found the valve, shut it off. We then tested the buildings that we had evacuated. They came with the gas company and the fire department, and there was no gas in any of the buildings. We let the occupants obviously back in. We did hire a detail for the rest of the repair work, and until the line was purged and the customers were all put back online. I didn't get a hard number of customers, but it was in a commercial district, and the Eversource guy told me he thought it was between 9 and 12. But the company that did the work, I spoke with one of the owners already. He will be getting a bill from me for all our police, fire, EMS services, and the gas company reports that into the utilities for the state, because it was properly marked. And but no injuries, no fire, no explosion. I put that out on Twitter because a lot of helicopters, they hear gas in Lawrence, and we had helicopters circling the rally point. But it was loud, but it was put out and taken care of quickly. And I see we have somebody else, so I'll shut up now. Sorry.
Hey, Chief, thank you so much for that. Appreciated for that update. And I would note that we are joined this evening by Councilor at Large Anna Levy, as well as my colleague in District D, Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez. With that, I would also note we are joined at this moment by Council President Mark LaPlante, and assisted this evening by our capable clerk's office. And with that, I would like to begin this evening's meeting, the Wednesday, April 28th meeting of the Budget and Finance meeting, Council Committee. And I would bring this meeting to order. I will open by providing the legal preamble to this meeting. As you at home know, that we are currently in a remote setting. And to that end, I will read the legal stuff. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the Massachusetts Open Meeting Law, General Laws, Chapter 30A, subsection 18, and the Governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, this meeting is being conducted by remote participation. No in-person attendance of members of the public was permitted this evening, nor will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access these meetings. A reminder that persons who would like to listen or to view this meeting while in progress may do so by the access locations provided on this evening's agenda, which was dutifully posted on the city website, tweeted, and posted in various social media locations. That would primarily be the City Council landing page of the website, where you can find our YouTube page as well as our Facebook page. With that being said, we will move right to the first item of the evening, which is a new business item from the council on April 20th, 2021.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, Mr. Rodriguez.
You have a few minutes to be approved, like 4.
So Sure, we could take the minutes. I would not be voting on them this evening, but we do have adequate members to take that vote. So if you are prepared, Mr. Rodriguez, I would entertain a motion if you wish to do so.
I would like to make a motion to approve minutes from 5/27/20, 6/3/20, 6/4/20, and 6/8/20.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez has made a motion to approve the minutes of May 27th, 2020, June 3rd, 2020, June 4th, 2020, and June 8th, 2020. Do I hear a second? And I believe I saw Councilor Levy seconded the motion. And
Yes.
she is confirming. Thank you, Councilor Levy. Is there any discussion?
No.
Hearing no
Yes,
discussion. Hearing no discussion. Clerk Halloran, if you would, please call the roll call.
Okay, roll call for approval of minutes. Counselor Anna Levy,
Yes.
Counselor Giovanni Rodriguez,
Yes.
Chairman David Abdu.
And the chair votes present. The motion passes. Thank you, Councilor Rodriguez, for bringing that forward. First item of new business this evening will be item 7121, and that is the fiscal year 21 firefighter safety equipment grant program in the amount of $25,999.98. And it's brought to us this evening by our fire chief, Brian Moriarty. He is with us this evening. Chief, I'd ask that you identify yourself and tell us why we're here this evening.
Sure. Again, Brian Moriarty, Lawrence Fire Chief. And we're here because we applied for a grant with the Department of Public Safety and Security and the Department of Fire Services. I received a letter from the governor and lieutenant governor, as well as the state fire marshal, that we were accepted to that grant to improve our public safety and security. We've chosen this year to work on some of the issues that still were pending, that we're always trying to improve on, from the NTSB report, when our gas crisis of 2018 struck, which is communications, which are always changing. So this money will go towards buying what we call dual band portable radios for firefighters. We have many now, but they are very expensive. So this will get us another 5. And I kind of chuckled a little when if they just gave us 2 more cents, we'd have an even 26,000, but the number was kind of long. This will go a long way to helping us improve not only the communications in our city and when people come to our city for assistance, but we go to many places for mutual aid. We've been to Lowell, Reading, Haverhill, North Andover, Dracut, and this dual band radio allows us to get many more communities and fireground frequencies into the radios, because they're UHF and VHF. That stands for very high frequency and ultra high frequency. Those are the 2 bands that the fire public safety operate on. And I was not ever able to buy everybody the same radio the first time around. They were just too expensive. So we've been piecemeal adding them. And this is what this grant money will be used for, with your approval.
Chief, thank you very much. Outstanding. Just one quick question. This will offer us interoperability. Do we have the opportunity to communicate between fire and police within the city on these?
We do, yes. They'll have the frequency. I don't know if we unscramble the portables, but we do our mobile radios. Like I have a police mobile, and they're scrambled, as I'm sure you know, if that's the right word, scrambled. The average citizen can't listen to it. Mine, the deputies, the other vehicles that have the UHF, yes, UHF have it. I'll have to check on the portable. I've never tried to talk to them on the portable. When I have spoken to the police, I have used my mobile radio, and that I still have that availability. But I'm pretty sure that we could do that with the portables if we needed to. I know we can put the frequency in. Whether or not we did the descramble or not, I'm not sure.
Well, thank you. It was more of a curiosity thing. I do know, obviously, when there's an event, you all are collaborate on those with police. securing the perimeter and your men and women doing what they need to do. And lastly, I would congratulate you. I see the grant application was put together by Paul Macaron, who I thought retired. So I'm glad to see that you've retained his services somehow, and good for all of us and great for you.
He's an excellent grant writer. He's been doing really well over the years.
Amen. I agree. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to my colleagues for their questions or Councilor Rodriguez.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I would like to say thank you, Chief Mariotti, for everything that you guys have done for the city, and I think that the department have been very helpful to the community. On the last few years, things have changed so much, and it feel like, you know, the department is not quite struggling like before, because of your leadership and many other, including the state, by providing this type of grant that's going to continue improving the communication and many other things. Chief, I see that with this almost $26,000, you mentioned that it was going to be 5 radios, or how many in total?
Well, we're going to add a little money to it so we can even it out. I think we're going to end up with 5 radios. They're not cheap.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's kind of what I think every time I buy one. Wow. And that's why I couldn't buy 125 the first time around. But I've been inventive on how we've been able to obtain some of them. We were able to increase during the gas crisis. I got Columbia Gas to buy us a few. Every year we try to add a couple into the budget so that every firefighter will eventually have the dual band radios used for details, for other projects, and in case a radio breaks. But you'd be surprised, Council, how expensive this radio stuff is.
It's crazy. Let me ask you: is that communication that you guys, or the frequency that you guys use, is that scripted like the police department one?
No, it's not. Nope.
Okay. And
what is different now that before I came here, I've instituted a fireground frequency. It's owned by Essex County Fire Chiefs, which I am a member of, and because we're in Essex County and I've joined, we are all allowed to use that frequency. So everybody that is in our mutual aid Essex County has the same frequency. So today, for instance, when we had the gas thing, we had a number of apparatus at the gas emergency, but we still had apparatus covering our city. So rather than confuse each other, we go to a fireground frequency, which is repeated with what we call it's known as a future comm. It's in the deputy's vehicle. It repeats the frequency so fire alarm can hear it. And then the other regular dispatch frequency, mutual aid can come in and say, hey, we're in the city without ever disturbing the incident. They can go to another incident, which happened today. The 2 companies that were covering the city got another box. They went on that with the other frequency. So we were undisturbed at the emergency. So it's made it a much safer incident command system and a safer fire ground.
okay. I guess that, you know, the communication that you guys have, the communication system that you guys have, works, and things, when things work, you don't do much. I mean, I'm glad that you guys has been able to figure it out, because communication is key for everything.
It is, and we're always trying to make it better. I've had Captain Reardon in Fire Alarm. She's set up the workstation, so now we can have multiple dispatches and firefighters that take calls. And if we have another, like Easter, when we had Easter was pretty busy, hectic day for us that afternoon. She came in as well as the dispatchers. They had different consoles so they could make the phone calls and dispatch trucks and keep track of the other incidents and who was where, and talk people into hydrants, because mutual aid don't know where our good hydrants are. So it has improved dramatically. We were on the fireground frequency there and still had the separate dispatch frequency, which worked out nicely because some New Hampshire towns didn't have our fireground frequency, so they stayed on the dispatch frequency. Well, the other half were on our fireground, and I carry 2 radios. The incident commander or I'll call it the deputy on duty, who was the initial incident commander. He carries 2 radios. So we're able to hear both ends of the conversation, both conversations, and we stay abreast of everything that's going on. And it did work quite well.
Yeah, that's good. Now shifting a little bit but not completely from what communication is. Last night on the safety committee, we were discussing an emergency response plan for the city of Lawrence, which basically have to deal with communication. So, do you think that if something similar happened in the city of Lawrence, like it has in the past with the gas explosions, do you think that we're going to be able to communicate better between the departments, between the city, the elected officials, and everybody involved? Do we have a plan similar to what we call emergency response plan?
Well, yeah, we have a plan. I have a book with a plan. We also have worked with MEMA. Since that crisis, I've obtained a comm vehicle, and one of my dispatchers, Larry Foote, has become what's known as a COM-L, a comm leader, which is a certain education level. That's just what they call it, COM-L. And he has increased his knowledge as well as helped train some of the other dispatchers. And we've used it a couple of times at incidents. One, for instance, the second gas crisis. If you remember when we cut the pipe in South Broadway,
Yep.
that vehicle came. So we were able to now have separate frequencies that mutual aid could come in and we could all talk. It's full of what we call cross band repeaters. So it takes somebody on this frequency and cross bands it and puts it on that frequency so we can all talk. So the short answer to your question is yes, but we've done many things to get to that yes. But the short answer is yes. We even had Channel 5 come out and do an interview with us and Larry and show him the van and how it operates. And he explained right on the news, Channel 5, and it made the story of how we can improve that and how it's going to make our fire ground safer. Is it going to make me be able to communicate with you better as the city council, or no? That we need to do internally. We need to set up, like if we, God forbid, we have this again, I'm knocking some wood here because I'm Irish. That an incident like that would happen. We would meet in the command post again, myself, the mayor, the police chief, and anybody else that's involved in it would come up with our plan of how we're discussing what we're doing, what's important, what isn't, life safety, then property, contain it and then extinguish it. But let's hope we never, ever have to get that big again.
Big, of course. So, Chief, do you think that we can, share that with us? I don't want to just see an email, perhaps. Do you think that you can include all that stuff that you just mentioned, whatever you have in paper, on the bi-weekly? No, not bi-weekly. On the reports that you every 3 months over 4 months you send to us, and that way we'll be able to read what we have so far, how far along we have come, and be able to have that as part of our reading and education for us.
I can add in what we've done to improve our communication. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it will be great to get to know how far we have come since the explosion and how different we're going to be acting. It's not like we didn't do what we were supposed to back then, but there is always room to improve, which I don't know, but you probably were there more or the most, I'll say. I know how you can improve the communication and everything.
I will do my best to explain to you how the radio system's supposed to work. I'm not a COM-L, so I'm not giving you any technical jargon, but I'm going to
No, don't worry about it. We just want to know, like, in general, how things work. We don't want to go into technical.
Right. then you can read my report then.
Yeah. So no, I appreciate everything that you guys have done, and I'm glad to hear that these things are going better than before. We always want to improve.
Yeah, I since then we've even opened another station, so now we're up to all 6 stations open. We run 5 engine companies, as opposed to 4. The what used to be known as the rescue truck is now known as a squad. It still has all the rescue equipment on it for extrications on the highway and many other things, elevators, but it also has a water pump and hose and has been used first due at a number of fires. It's laid lines. So we've taken the same staffing that we have, we've thought and changed the way we operate in a few instances that has, in my mind, improved our fire coverage, as well as the water department has improved the water supply. They've got our hydrants color coded, so at a glance we can tell how much water is coming from it. I brought us from a class 3 fire department up to a class 2. My next goal is to be class 1. I'm trying to work on that now to see if we're ready for a reevaluation, because we have done some of those things since the first evaluation, and I'm hoping that we can make the grade, because then,
No, I mean, those are great things. I'm glad that you guys have done that. I mean, have improved, and there is always room to keep on improving. Like you want to be a class 1. I'm very happy, and you know, let's celebrate together. I'm happy. Everybody's happy, and people need to know that, you know, our fire department is up to the standards and better than what it was before.
you should be very proud of your fire department. They all work very hard.
Thank you so much.
Nothing was more evident than Easter week. We had 3 major fires in our city, and we went mutual aid to one other. So,
Thank you. Appreciate everything that you guys have done.
got it.
Thank you, Councilor Rodriguez. Are there further comments, questions, or motions? Councilor Levy, I see your hand.
First, well, through you, Mr. President, most of the question that I had was made by Councilor Rodriguez, so I got almost the same question with that 5 forms, and also a request regarding what's if you have something in writing or something that you can share with us regarding what happened. If something happened again that like we said, we hope that never ever happen this thing, you know, with the gas again. But it's good so that we can have something in writing and that we can read it and see how this work in between departments, between the city hall, between the city council and everybody, and see something is missing, and that's something that maybe we can help you guys just to get it and look at the way on how we can serve much better to you and the community. So, but we want to thank you for all the good job that you've been doing. The fire department is doing great. I worked many years with the fire department, and there was a great experience that I did have before, where I had to attend sometime 3 and 4 fire at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. That sometimes I has to be.
Sorry, I'm out, Counselor. The phone never rings.
Sometimes I has to be awake, you know, the whole night in a very cold weather, raining, snowing, and so many. Oh my goodness! So I don't want to remember that. So, and I said, I'm done with one of the last big fire that we have in South Lawrence, that a few people died, and for me that was terrible.
Yeah, it was.
I don't want to remember that, because for me that was a very bad experience. But I know that you guys risk your life and do, you know, so many things to say. So saving lives, and that you also can lose your life. So thank you so much. So I have one more question. So we're gonna buy practically 5 more radios. How many radios do you have it right now?
We have well over, we have over 125 radios, but they're not all of the same quality. And I'm trying to get everybody to the same quality so they can go to Andover and talk just as easily as they can talk in Lawrence. So that's what we're working on right now.
But it's very hard just to bring everybody to the same quality, because if you buy 5 this year and try to buy 5 next year, so the one that you already buy this year, it won't be the same.
No, it's a good point, but we're buying the same radios. It's just that the The radios that I'm replacing are what's called single band. They're only VHF. This newer radio is VHF and UHF, but I'm buying the same radio, so they'll have the same, that higher quality radio. Everybody should eventually have the same one. So I'm not trying to do what.
Okay, that this is great. All right. Thank you so much for the work that you and your department is doing and for saving life, putting your life in risk. Thank you so much.
We have a new pump that'll be in probably in June. So that'll be engine 6 up on the hill. That'll be our 6th piece of apparatus that we've replaced since I've been here. So I'm looking forward to that. I'll be going out.
Let us know. I want to be there.
Oh yeah, it'll be here probably in June.
Yeah.
We haven't got the final inspection date, but it'll be end of May, probably beginning of June that we'll go out there and we inspect it and then they bring it out here. That'll be it'll be just like, it's gonna look just like the new engine 7 that we have on Park Street.
Which one is that one? Which one is that one?
The one that we're buying the building right now is gonna go up on Howard Street, engine 6. It's gonna,
Okay, right behind me.
Yep. I honestly, I don't know where you live, but it's going to look just like the one that's on in Park Street, engine 7, same design. It's gonna have a 6 on it though, instead of a 7.
All right, that's great. Let us know.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Hey.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Levy. Are there any further questions, comments, or are there any motions at this time?
Motion to send it to the full council with a favorable recommendation.
Second,
There is a motion to send up to the full council with a favorable recommendation that has been properly seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion? Hearing none. I would ask that Clerk Halloran please take the roll call.
A roll call full document. The 7121 that was sent to the full council with favorable recommendation. Councilor Ana Levy,
yes.
Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez,
Yes.
Chairman David Abdu.
And the chair votes yes. It passes 3-0. Congratulations, Chief. I look forward to voting on this next week.
Thank you. And I'll be on here next week too.
Very
Goodbye.
good. Take care, Chief.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chief.
So that concludes the new items on the agenda. Are there any agenda items on the table matters that my colleagues would like to take up at this time?
Nope.
If there are no further items, I would entertain any further motions.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
There has been a motion to adjourn this evening. It has been properly seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
aye.
Opposed? Hearing none. I'd ask Clerk Halloran to take the roll call one last time.
Roll call to adjourn at 7:28 p.m. Councilor Ana Levy,
Yes.
Councilor Giovanni Rodriguez,
Yes.
Chairman David Abdu.
Chair votes yes. That's a 3-0. We are adjourned and wish everyone a good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
For everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.